gentlemen, and welcome to the Entertainment and Sports Arena here in lovely Washington, D.C. This is the site of this year's Capitol Classic. I'm Chad Ricardo, and joining me now, a true guru of high school hoops, my tag team partner, Mr. Marc Stern. Stern, we've got the Capitals versus the Nationals. That, of course, being the best of the DMV, taking along the best of the nation. It's the 50th anniversary of this truly monumentous game.
Yeah, this is the creme de la creme from the DMV basketball. The Capitol Classic, first game was in 1974. Here we are 50 years later. Beautiful facility in Southeast DC, and should be a good one tonight. Here's some highlights from the early days of the Capitol Classic. Grant Hill.
And that's what I was going to say, Stern. I mean, we take a look at this. Marcus Camby. We know Michael Jordan played in this game. We know that LeBron James played in this game as well. Just speak to me about what this history means, not only to the DMV, but to the country.
Yeah, this game, Bob Geoghan started this game, like I said, in 1974. And this, along with the McDonald's game, was the only two All-Star games in the country. More games have obviously surfaced since then, but this is still a big-time national game and a great opportunity for the DMV to play some of the top teams in the country.
And you talk about how big this game is, and some of the stars that are in this game, arguably none bigger from a star perspective than one Mikey Williams, who's playing in this game here today.
Yeah, Mikey Williams from San Diego, headed to Memphis, is one of the top players and most popular players in the country. This is his second stint here. His second stint at his high school in San Diego after going to North Carolina for a couple of years. But he is definitely one to watch today. Very dynamic guard, and he'll bring the crowd to their feet.
And, of course, his tag team partner in high school and in this game, J.J. Taylor, also going with him to Memphis.
Yeah, like you said, J.J. Taylor, high school teammate, a collegiate teammate at Memphis. Dynamic forward, super athletic. So, got a good chance to see him play at the Capitol Classic practice yesterday over at Coolidge High School, and he's a dynamic athlete. He'll be putting on a show today as well.
Now, all right, so those are the Nationals. Let's take a look at the young men from here in the DMV. We'll start with Amani Hansberry from Mount St. Joe's.
Yeah, Amani Hansberry, very versatile forward, headed to Illinois. Started out his high school career at St. John's, transferred up to Mount St. Joe in Baltimore, and has put together a tremendous 2 years up there. He'll be a dominant force here for the local All-Stars.
And one of the favorite student athletes that I've had a chance to cover myself here recently, Jonathan Lamuth from St. Francis.
Yeah, Lamuth headed to the University of Maryland, dynamic shooter, very cerebral player. Lamuth does everything right. A lot of coaches really like kind of his moxie and his ability to get things done, but he's a special one for sure.
And, of course, his teammate, Bob Geoghan, going to be playing in this game as well. Bob, I saw him drop 55 in a game at the St. James earlier this year, so he can fill it up, too. We've got the Stars. We are moments away from tip-off here. What are you most excited about seeing in this game?
I'm excited to see the DMV represent. I mean, this is a basketball game that was created kind of on DMV turf for the DMV to showcase what they've got against the rest of the country, and to see all these, the top players from around the DMV. And many of these kids have gone on to play at high schools that aren't in the DMV, the IMGs of the world, and these premier national high schools, and to see them all come together and play on the local team should be special.
We want to talk about a man who has been here locally and then gone on to huge things. That, of course, is head coach Adrian Branch. He is leading the national team. We had an interview with him.
All right, so we are here with the U.S. Cap team coach. Coach, we are ready for a great game today. You have two amazing players, two high-quality players, and Mikey Williams and J.J. Taylor. So how are we going to get them involved in today's game today?
You know what? We're going to let them play. It's just a glorified street ball game. Not to discredit it, but we're not going to overanalyze it. We'll give them simple sets, and we want them to play hard. We want them to give a reason why all of these people are coming out to see them. Great kids. We love their attitudes. Watch their body language as it goes on. And you know what, real quick, I've had the privilege of speaking to the locals, too, because I'm forever D.C., too. You get me some crabs and some go-go, Chuck Brown. You get me some crabs and some go-go, I'm more. But, again, it's these guys' turn, and it's nothing but love. We want both teams to just go out there and do their best.
Is there any nerves for you today as a coach? Any nerves, any excitement, any feeling? You just said that you're back home, so how does this feel for you today?
A basketball court, A camera? Are you kidding me, ESPN? It's love. It's love. It's no ego. Ego has no amigo. I thank God, man, for the privilege of being able to be out here. But it's these young guys' turn. And it's not about Adrian. You try to give them a little wisdom, Coach Drizel, Coach Massenberg, Coach Battle. It's not about us. It's about these young guys.
Thank you so much, Coach, and I hope you have a great game today. Thank you.
Rockin' Big E. This is my man.
And that, of course, being
Thanks
the
so much.
third member of our broadcast team, Eric Curry, down there interviewing head coach Adrian Branch. What personality Coach Branch has. It is truly a pleasure to have him back with this game.
Yeah, he is. He's a character for sure. He's a former MVP of the Capital Classic. He won the MVP of the year. Michael Jordan played in this game. A lot of people don't know that, but he's no stranger to the limelight and no stranger to the Capital Classic.
And now leading the DMV squad, this is the head coach of Hayfield High School. We've got Coach Carlos Poindexter. Now with Eric.
Now I am here with the Capital All-Stars coach. Now, Coach, you have some real dogs on your team in this game. So how do you feel like you're going to get the whole team incorporated and involved, especially playing some real good, gritty, scrappy basketball today?
Yeah, so today we're going to focus on trying to make sure that we share the basketball, play the right way, and get out there defensively. And, you know, that's what I'm going to tell them when we have our pregame speech. And just go out there, have fun, and represent the DMV in the highest light possible.
Now, we are in the DMV. This is DMV basketball. It's high expectations for this win today. So going into it, are you going in for the win, or are you just going in to have fun?
I mean, we definitely going in to win. And, you know, whenever you're playing with the clock, you know, you always want to win at the end of it. So hopefully at the end of the game, we're victorious.
Thank you so much, Coach, and have a great game.
Yeah, man, appreciate you.
No problem.
That, of course, is Coach Poindexter. Now, if it's okay with you, Marc Stern, we're going to step aside for just a moment and tap into the national anthem.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
All right, Stern, that is the way that you want to kick off an event like this. Again, the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic going down right here in Washington, D.C. I don't know about you, but I've been excited about this game, if not all week, all month.
Absolutely. When I heard this game was kind of being revitalized, I was very excited. I have a lot of memories coming to this game ever since I was a youth growing up here in the DMV, and to see this game ramp back up under some new leadership after the founder of this game, Bob Geoghan, passed away over the pandemic. It's great to see kind of his legacy passed on, and this should be a tremendous ball game here at a very nice venue here. Got people still filing in. Seen a lot of familiar faces, Capital Classic alumni, a lot of people from the local media, local coaches out here to support the game and see their guys. So this is a great atmosphere to see a big-time game like this, Chad.
Now, of course, we've spoken already about Mikey Williams, J.J. Taylor, DeMatha, I should say, playing over there on the other team. Who else are you excited to play?
I'm excited to see Tyler Perkins, kid from Landon High School. He's going to UPenn. He had a tremendous practice yesterday, maybe the best practice of anyone. I mean, I think Mikey Williams is the guy everyone is here to see. He's got the notoriety, the popularity, dynamic young guard. So he'll be fun to watch as well, as he's matched up with Jamie Kaiser, Maryland commit from IMG, played his high school ball at Bishop Ireton before that. A lot of stars in this game as Kaiser opens things up with a deep NBA 3 ball that's off the mark.
And we are under action there, as you alluded to. Capital team starts off from downtown, unable to connect. The ball headed over to the Nationals. Green going to bring the ball up, gets the ball into the hands of Mikey Williams, operating off of that pick and roll. Man-to-man defense on behalf of the Capitals as Hansberry takes it away.
Yeah, great defense by Hansberry there, who finds Kaiser for another three-point attempt. This one can't drop either.
Now Malik Mack able to get the rebound, and Malik Mack puts it in.
St. John's cadet Malik Mack with the first bucket of the game, a 3 from straight away. He was another one who had a nice practice yesterday.
This one rebounded again by Hansberry, up ahead to Mack, who drops it off, and the Capitals off to an outstanding start.
Absolutely, a pair of former St. John's teammates there. Hansberry with a leak-ahead pass, nice dump off to Lamoth. Good start for the local guys here, 5-0.
Now, when you look at the history of this game, the national team leads the series. We'll get those official numbers, but maybe out to a 7-0 start for the team from the DMV.
And great transition buckets here from the local guys. That's two kind of leak-out situations in a row. Uncontested transition buckets, 7-0.
7-0 is your score. Capital Classic, the 50th anniversary. J.J. Taylor, that shot long and heads out of bounds. A little house cleaning. We are playing 4 10-minute quarters, it appears, as we're going to have our first timeout. And I believe that was called by national coach Adrian Branch just to take a moment to help compose his young men as they're here on the big stage at the Entertainment and Sports Arena.
Yeah, I don't think Branch was ready for a 7-0 opening from the local guys, but the DMV squad really representing here. Let's see if they can sustain that as we move forward.
Yeah, and I mean, just taking a look here, of course, it was Malik Mack knocking down the three-pointer, as we saw him do so often for that St. John's Cadets team. Hansberry has been effective, both rebounding and getting it out in transition. That was outstanding passing. And then again here, just the leak out ahead, and he knows what to do with it in the open court. Capital team not intimidated by the Nationals in any regard.
And Malik Mack coming out firing here. Misses a 3 there off the screen.
And Trey Green brings the ball back up. A crossover by Green. Good help defense by Kaiser, and that's going to lead to a jump ball.
Possession error will stay with the national team here. Good help for defense.
Now, Stern, I know that one of the things that you wanted to look at was the potential size advantage by the Nationals. The Capital team is able to kind of minimize that to start.
Yeah, yesterday in the practice it was evident the size advantage. It was pretty big disparity. I think as the benches come out a little bit, you might see a little bit more of that size difference. The national team has 2 kind of small guards starting, so you're not going to see it here. And another leak ahead.
And coming out and putting it in, and Kaiser was unable to do that, but foul going to be called on J.J. Taylor, so Kaiser will head to the line.
And again, transition basketball. Kaiser getting out in front of the pack. Chance to tack on to their 7-0 lead here to start.
We'll run you through the individuals that started today's game, beginning first with the national team. Number 1 in blue and red, that's Mikey Williams, of course, headed to Memphis. Number 2, Javante J.J. Taylor, headed to Memphis as well. Number 3, Trey Green, headed to Xavier. Number 4, K.J. Lewis, headed to Arizona. And number 33, Mike Nwoko, and he is headed to Miami. On the Capital side, number 2, Malik Mack, headed to Harvard. Number 5, Jonathan Lamoth to Maryland. Number 6, Carter Lang to Vanderbilt. 11, Jamie Kaiser, who scored a couple of buckets, headed to Maryland. And number 35, Amani Hansberry, headed to Illinois.
A lot of collegiate prospects out here. I'm sure we'll see some of these guys a step further than that in the NBA at some point in time, like so many Capital Classic alum. But this is a star-studded roster is going both ways as Malik Mack brings the ball up the court once again.
Nationals on the board as the score is 8-2. We'll see if they can go on a little run here. Green with the alley, and J.J. Taylor freaking the oop.
Great look right there. Wasn't even sure who he was passing the ball to when it left his hands, but that was great execution, great look.
8-4, and there's Lewis getting in the passing lane. The Nationals out ahead, can't convert. Rebounded and coming back the other way. Hansberry in the open court. He's been so effective thus far. This time gets tied up. Green coming away. He's got J.J. Taylor up front. J.J. Taylor, showtime. Faslama Jamma. A 6-1 run reeled off, and what was a 7-0 advantage is now 8-6. Hansberry.
Ooh, pretty finish by Hansberry over the help side defender there.
Now, he gave the he's too small sign there. It wasn't out in the open. I don't even know if everybody saw it. Mikey Williams, turnaround jump shot, knocks it down.
Nice shot from Mikey Williams.
That's one of the things that we all came to see, right, is how good is Mikey Williams as Kaiser knocks in another three. I know you saw Mikey in practice. Is he living up to all of the hype?
His high school career got off maybe one of the best starts to a high school career in the history of high school basketball. First high school game he ever played, 41 points. Second high school game he ever played, 50 points. 2 weeks later, 77 points.
Wow.
This is as a freshman in San Diego. He left San Diego, headed to Lake Norman Christian School in Huntersville, North Carolina, and now he's back with his second stint here in San Diego. But he was put on the map early, and with production like I just talked about, rightfully so.
And Williams falls short on that three-point attempt. Of course, we would be remiss if we did not bring to light the fact that Williams is dealing with some legal troubles of his own. That is going to be an ongoing process, but he is still here playing with us here in the Capital Classic here today. 13-8 is the score. The Capital team leading the U.S. All-Stars as we've got some substitutions on the floor.
And both ways, we got full line subs, 5 in, 5 out. That's, I guess you'd say it's a normalcy at All-Star games. You want to get guys, at least for the first 3 quarters plus, equal minutes. Everyone gets an opportunity. And 5 in, 5 out. And I'm sure we'll see more of that for the next couple of quarters. Maybe at the end of the game, if it's a close game, we'll see coaches strategize a little more about personnel on the court.
That shot rebounded by Cameron Barnes, number 23 in blue from Duncanville. He's still undecided. As a turnover, it'll head over to the Capital squad as Carlton Bob Carrington on the inbounds from St. Francis. He's a Pittsburgh commit. Carrington can fill it up. Short on his first shot, but rebounded and put home.
There's Tyler Perkins, who I spoke about a minute ago, Chad. He was maybe a little bit of a late bloomer, coming from Landon, not a school that's known to be a powerhouse in basketball, but he has come on the map, was a first-team All-Met kid in the Washington, D.C. area this year. And if you talk to scouts and media who were at practice yesterday, they'll tell you in unison he was the best performer on the court for this team yesterday in practice.
Devin Vanderpool able to come down and knock down the shot. Vanderpool headed to Florida Atlantic, who made a nice run in the tournament. You speak of the young man from Landon and Tyler Perkins. Tell me this, Marc Stern, for someone like him who may not have been the biggest named recruit in the DMV and certainly not in the nation, what does it mean to him to be playing against the Mikey Williams, the J.J. Taylors here today?
So I spoke to him about that specifically yesterday. When he got the call, he didn't know a whole lot about the Capital Classic, but he spoke to his father, spoke to his uncle, and they kind of schooled him on what this game means and the history of this game. And he lit up yesterday when I asked him what it meant to play in this game. And I think, you know, for a kid coming from a school like Landon, who doesn't produce a lot of Capital Classic kids and first team All-Met kids.
Outstanding academic program, in case anyone from Landon is listening right now.
Absolutely. But for Perkins, I think he takes a lot of pride in kind of being on this stage. And, you know, he brought a lot of energy yesterday, and he certainly belongs. No doubt about that.
7-footer Braden Pierce at the free throw line. Pierce attended IMG Academy, now coming back home to play for the Terps.
So kind of an interesting point here for Pierce. He's actually the only kid on the local team that has no ties to the DMV aside from coming to the University of Maryland. Typically, all these kids went to high school here, were born here, grew up here. But over the years, sometimes the DMV doesn't necessarily produce a ton of bigs, and you need bigs in order to play. So they went outside a pocket a little bit, and they found a 7-footer who's coming to Maryland next year, and he'll round out the Capital All-Star lineup here. They've done it before many times with big specifically, so he just kind of follows in line. Bob Carrington gets the breakaway.
And Bob was about to put on a show after knocking down a three-pointer. He was going to head to that. But on that note, 19-10 is our score in the Capital Classic. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with you.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the edge of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
At the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C. He's Marc Stern. I'm Chad Ricardo. This is the Capital Classic. A very good showing thus far from the Capital team, up 19-10 as we take a look at some of these highlights. Stern, JJ.
There's the alley-oop to J.J. Taylor. Beautiful dime there. Taylor again with the leak ahead in front of the pack. 19-10, local guys on top here. Started off the game real hot. U.S. All-Stars came back, but the Capital All-Stars on another bit of the run as we have our first line change, our second group of 5 for each side out on the court right now.
Had a look at Coach Carlos Poindexter there. Of course, we interviewed him before the game, and Eric asked him specifically about his desire to win this game, and he said, look, we're not coming out here just to play around. We want to be on top when the score is over, and they're up by 9 right now.
Yeah, you want to protect home court. You're in the DMV, representing the DMV. Obviously, winning is very important in a game like this.
Strong take by Tyler Perkins, unable to convert it. Coming back down the national squad, looking for a high pick and roll. Good defense, long shot. Boxed out by Bob Carrington. Carrington is someone that I really like, Marc Stern. I do.
Yeah, he's a tremendous shooter. I mean, he's had games this year shooting the ball 6, 7, 8 3-pointers. Works really good with Jonathan Lamoth. Head coach Nick Miles from St. Francis has done a great job with these two.
That shot going to be rebounded by Barnes. National team looking to find their footing.
Yusuf Singare misses there. Bob Carrington the other way. Pull up 3, no good. Singare with the rebound.
And Carrington, not someone that is shy to shoot, so don't be surprised if he gets up a shot a minute here. It's in his DNA, basically, and this is an all-star game, so why not have a little fun?
Oh, he'll get them up all right.
Capital team having a lot of fun, up by 9, looking for more, got one in advance. It is Carrington, and Carrington misses the two-handed jam, rebounded by the Capital team.
Another guy to watch over here is Jacoy Hutchinson, former DeMatha player, finished at IMG.
Swinging it around, good ball movement, open 3.
Great extra pass from Tyler Perkins.
And that's going to be a charge called, and it's headed the other way.
Devin Vanterpool sells the contact there. Now Vanterpool's father, David Vanterpool, former Blair guy from Montgomery County.
Wow.
Now works in the NBA with the Brooklyn Nets. Got a couple guys whose fathers have NBA roots on the national team. Kenny Satterfield Jr., Kerry Booth, who was United States All-Star.
Sure.
Didn't make it here, but he was named an All-Star. His father, Calvin Booth, former Penn State great.
That's right.
Played in the NBA with the Wizards for a while.
Papa Conti, as the national team has gone cold from the field. Vanderpool.
Vanderpool filled it up in practice yesterday. He was, I'd say, along with Carrington, he was probably the top shooter yesterday's practice.
Now, you attended these practices, and one of the things that you were blown away by was the competition that you saw.
Yeah, when you think of all-star games, usually you think of kind of guys having fun, dunks, you know, that type of stuff. As Carrington hits the deep two, I think he had a foot on the line there. But yesterday, the competition, I mean, guys were really getting it in, and it was, you know, it was fun to see these guys kind of take pride in this and you know, get a really good sweat in, really good energy. And it looks like the local All-Stars will bring a new line change in. A couple guys will be checking in for the first time, I believe, over there, as I see Thomas Batiste from Gonzaga and Greg Jones from Hayfield. Lafayette Williams from Coolidge will be making their debut here in the Classic, joined by Jonathan Lamoth and Amani Hansberry, a couple Baltimore Catholic League guys.
The competition that you speak of, I feel as though that is carrying over into the game thus far. There is a good amount of defense being played out here, not your typical all-star games where everybody's just running up and down the court. I love it.
Yeah, this definitely isn't the NBA all-star game, I'll tell you that.
As Gonzaga hands it off to MSJ, purple to purple, but the shot is missed. Coming back the other way is the national team. Crossover three ball going up off the mark. Long rebound hauled in by Conte. And the floater also off a tip-in, and the national squad can't buy a bucket. Kenny Satterfield with a couple of opportunities.
Greg Jones with the rebound is fouled there. Local guys up 21-10, only 10 points. And that's in a 10-minute quarter for the U.S. All-Stars with the shot clock almost off here. 0.5 second differential.
2 for 1.
Lafayette Williams didn't want to hold for one there.
Now, from what you've seen thus far, Stern, you alluded to it, only 10 points scored, 18 seconds of remaining on the shot clock, on the game clock. The shot clock is off. Is this nerves here, or is it just shot selection?
I don't know. You don't really see a lot of great kind of time management in high school basketball. Right. You rarely see teams get a good 2 for 1. As Amani Hansberry comes with the big block shot before the buzzer, but you know, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, Williams just checked into the game 30 seconds ago. Got a little nerves, wants to get a shot up, so not mad at it.
All right, and at the end of 21-10, the Capital All-Stars lead the U.S. All-Stars. This, the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. We'll be right back.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
One of the single greatest high school all-star games of all time. That, of course, is the Capital Classic. This is the 50th anniversary of it. I'm Chad Ricardo. He is Marc Stern. The Capital All-Stars, the young men from right here in the DMV, on top of the national team by a score of 21-10. Stern, what surprised you the most in that first quarter?
I mean, the start the local guys got out to was tremendous. Capital All-Stars, 8-0 game, I believe, to start. A lot of contributions from across the board. Jamie Kaiser got a bunch of threes up early, finally got one to fall. Lamoth, Bob Carrington, Amani Hansberry. It's been a lot of contributions across the board as Greg Jones is in the game here. Pass to Lamoth, who hits the corner three. 24-10, Capital All-Stars.
Lamoth has looked good thus far, albeit in transition or in running sets, and that is what college coaches love about him, as Mikey Williams has this one knocked away. No kick ball called. Now the Capital All-Stars look to get into transition. Dribbling it down is Thomas Batiste. In the corner, Lamoth. Couldn't go 2 for 2. Rebounded by the national squad. They're going to need to find a way to put the ball into the basket as Williams has it knocked away, but a foul is called.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a bailout there, but Williams went down as Greg Jones had tried to run the other way and get a breakaway bucket.
Yeah, I mean, Jones had his eyes set as we look here. Jones reaches in. I may have gotten his arm. What do you think?
Maybe their feet tangled up a little bit. Nice pass right there by Mikey Williams, but I think the ref kept the ball with the U.S. All-Stars as players started to run the other way. And now the refs will converge, and looks like they'll keep it here. Maybe a discussion about the shot clock down there.
Williams went high pick and roll with Yusuf Singari. Singari couldn't handle it. Into Trey Green. This one going to be rebounded, coming back the other way. Quickly come the All-Stars as they've done a great job playing with pace. Here's Batiste, back to Lamoth. Open three ball. Rebounded by Hansberry and throw it down, big fella. Throw it down.
And that's the best play we've seen today thus far as Amani Hansberry comes crashing down. Great timing there. And the U.S. All-Stars cannot get it going. They finally get a second chance point there. And like I said, you can see a little bit of that height advantage there. The local team, their biggest guy on the floor is Amani Hansberry at 6'7". The rest of their bigs are on the bench.
And needed that one from Nwoko as he is from prolific prep, able to put that one back in. Shot coming off of the mark. We'll see if the national team can get in transition. Green with a nice looking path. Lamoth got a hand on it.
Yeah, tried to squeeze that one in there. Didn't work out, but they'll retain possession down there, the Capital All-Stars.
26-12, 8 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Lamoth thought for a minute he might have had his eyes on that pass. Taylor, give and go action into the lane. J.J. Taylor.
And there's a lid on the bucket down there as Mikey Williams hits the three.
And we'll see if that one can get Mikey Williams going as he's able to knock that one down from the elbow. Arguably the most impressive young man of the game thus far. There's Hansberry knocking down another one from the baseline.
And he's talking to the crowd now. Monty Hansberry getting in the groove. The Capital All-Stars.
Now, we saw Hansberry again at the beginning of his career with St. John's. He was just a post player, and then now he's put so much expansion to his game.
He really has. I mean, he was shooting threes yesterday in practice, put the ball on the deck. Obviously, he's going to be guarded by bigs, so you're not trying to put the ball on the floor against little diminutive guards, but he's done a really good job expanding his game over the last few years.
An offensive rebound by Thomas Batiste, and he hits to the rack and draws the foul. Look at the sportsmanship by Mikey Williams, helping him up.
Batiste, Harvard commit from Gonzaga, played for Gonzaga head coach Steve Turner. He headed to the line. He'll be collegiate teammates with Malik Mack.
That's right.
Another Capital All-Star here, who graduated from St. John's, won a WCAC championship this year.
As we take a look there at Coach Carlos Poindexter, doing a fine job with this Capital team. Up by 11, they've led throughout, got off to a 7-0 advantage to start and have not blinked ever since.
And Adrian Branch has Mikey Williams over at the sideline, giving his lead guard some instruction.
And you do have to wonder, again, we do know that Mikey Williams, of course, has been in the limelight since he was a very young man, but there is some things that are going on in his life right now, and how challenging does it have to be to play a game when you know that those things are on the horizon, and he draws the foul headed to the line for three.
And that's an NBA move right there. You get the guy on the dance, you get him off his feet. Little contact, probably not enough contact to warrant a foul in yesteryear, but this day and age, it's called. And, I'm not sure about that one, but that's kind of the norm these days, is to kind of draw that whistle and force the ref into making that call.
30-17. If you are the national team, again, I think that everybody has a desire to win this game. So you're down by 13 now. Around what point do you need to have this game under 10 to start feeling comfortable?
I mean, I would say in the fourth quarter, obviously you don't want it to get crazy. You know, 10 is certainly within reach. You know, obviously if it gets to a point where it's 20, things get a little more difficult. But I think if they're in that 10 to 12 range to start the fourth quarter, it's within reason to still win the game. As we see another line change here, and it looks like Adrian Branch is calling his second timeout. Called one early in the first quarter before his team had even scored a point. And let's see if they can draw something up and get things going. It looks like who's that? It looks like one of the assistant coaches, Chuck Drizel. Chuck Drizel is over there drawing something up. The national team.
In 30-19, again, one of the most impressive student athletes is Hansberry, as he's skied high for that to throw it down with the one hand. We've seen him be able to do that, put the ball on the ground, outlet passes, hitting jump shots. His development, it's just been off of the charts.
Yeah, absolutely. He is a dynamic player now. He's got a very nice frame to him, and he'll be a problem in the Big Ten for years to come.
Now, for you, what do you see him projecting as? Because obviously he has the size at 6'7". He's a big body, though. He's been working on that, as you can see, but he is a big body. Do you see him more as a wing or a post at the next level?
No, I think he's a post player. I mean, I think he's a 3-4. Be counted on to rebound a lot. Obviously, beautiful backdoor pass. Beautiful backdoor pass.
Jamie Kaiser
and Carter Lang
on the two-handed dunk. The pass from Lang. That looks like they've been teammates playing together for 5 years.
Absolutely. Carter Lang from St. Anne's Belfield down in Virginia with a beautiful backdoor look.
32-19 as Mikey Williams beginning to be a little more aggressive. Maybe he senses the moment here.
And it's starting to fill up in here a little bit, Chad. People a little late to the party, but got a nice attendance here from Southeast DC. Mikey Williams hits the free throw.
As we take a look here, Mikey Williams coming off of that high pick and roll. Knew that only one stayed with them with the floater. Gets to the line, puts in two more. So 4 free throws over the last couple of minutes. Lead still at 12. Bob Carrington driving hard. He and Kaiser not on the same page as Carrington wanted him to stay.
Yeah, a little miscommunication as Kaiser kind of flashed towards the lane there. Malik Mack with the pick.
And a 4-on-2 break. Kaiser to the big fella, rolls it in.
Nice finish for Carter Lang there.
Carter Lang showing the versatility in his game, headed to Vanderbilt. Saw him passing it, and there with the finish, and a foul going to be called on Kaiser.
Yeah, and a late whistle there as Kaiser came across the lane to help out. A little strip there, but it looks like he got some arm. And we're in the bonus here. I'm not sure. Looks like maybe they're doing fouls. They're resetting them by the half, not by the quarter, because that's the 7th team foul by the Capital All-Stars here.
Mike Nwoko headed to the free throw line, 1-1, able to convert on the first side. Stern, I think that energy appears to be one of the catalysts to this lead right now. 34-12 for the Capital All-Stars. They seem to have a little more oomph to their game.
Yeah, absolutely. The national team is definitely a bit lethargic here. Mikey Williams has gotten off a little bit, but not a lot of contributions across the board.
Carrington comes up short. Green looking ahead, and that one just through the hands of Yusuf Singari.
Yeah, it was a great look, but Singari just couldn't handle the ball as Adrian Branch and Chuck Drizel over there clap on the National All-Stars.
Singari will be playing next year at national champion UConn as another three-pointer. Carter Lang showing everything in his game.
And that's a deep three there. That's behind the, I'm not sure if that's the Mystics or Go-Go line there at the top of the key, but it definitely was not the high school line.
37-22 now. Lang with the steal. The outlet to Kaiser. Kaiser cutting him off and finishing with the left hand.
39-22. We talked a minute ago, Chad, about what type of lead is insurmountable and where you need to be. And
yeah, man.
It's getting into danger territory here for the National All-Stars.
And at the halftime, we will have to take a look and see exactly what the head-to-head numbers are in terms of wins and losses, but the Capital squad looking to make up some ground as Mikey Williams heads to the hoop again.
And it seems like every possession, the national team is late to get back defensively. I mean, I feel like 1 in every 2 possessions, the local guys have a guy leak out behind the entire defense, which is leading to a lot of transition buckets, a lot of good looks as we see a line change here once again for the National All-Stars.
That's what I was going to say. Coach Branch obviously not pleased with the level of energy and effort from his squad either. Brings in 5 new, looking to find some sort of rhythm.
And I wonder how much of this, obviously these local guys know each other pretty well.
Yes.
And there's some continuity, and you know, they've played AAU together. They've played, you know, various events over the year. And, you know, it's hard to know how much the national team, you know, how much camaraderie and how much
even
they
just
know of
familiar with each other,
right?
right? Because even if you don't play with each other, you know of one another, especially in this age of social media.
For sure. Social media and AAU.
Papakante at the line. And headed to the University of Michigan. Papakante able to finish. 3-point play. Malik Mack. Vanderpool doing a great job hounding him.
He was great defensively yesterday. Does a really good job of applying pressure.
Mack drops it off, and the big fella Lang finishing through contact.
And that's what Malik Mack does. Tremendous passer, really good ball handler, and just has a great feel for the game.
It's a deep 3. Tapped around and rebounded by the Capital squad, Austin Ball.
Yeah, Austin Ball is going to be a great one for George Mason, one of the most prolific shooters in the area here.
And now here's the national squad looking to get out in transition, but rebounded by Lang, and ahead Carrington tries to tap it forward.
And it looks like we're going to have our under 5 TV timeout here in the second quarter.
And a 41-27 is the score here at the Capital Classic as we see Malik Mack driving to the rack, dropping it off to Carter Lang, and that is why the Capital team is in the lead. This, the 50th anniversary. We'll be right back.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
Anniversary of the Capital Classic here in Washington, D.C. It's been the Amani Hansberry show. Knocking it down from the corner, coming down and throwing it down from the outside on the dunk. We've seen him do it this way in transition with the turnaround jump shot through traffic, and he's had some rebounds and some outlet passes as well. Just truly a young man who can get it done from all over the court. Mount St. Joe's Amani Hansberry showing he can play with the best in the nation.
Absolutely. Very multi-dimensional. He's shown a lot of different stuff here today. And he sits down next to BCL comrade Jonathan Lamoth. They've done a lot of battle over the last couple of years in the Baltimore Catholic League.
Vanderpool bringing the ball up. Bud Carrington on him. High pick and roll action. Swinging this around. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Haven't talked about the shot clock much today. Don't expect as much in an all-star game. Headed to the rack, and that is going to be a foul called as KJ Lewis will head to the line.
Yeah, Carter Lang got caught reaching there a little bit. Hands were definitely not vertical as they are supposed to be.
I'll tell you what, though. Since Carter Lang has come into this game, he's truly put on a show in his own regard.
Absolutely. Like Hansberry, he's got a great frame. He's come a long way. I remember covering Carter Lang when he came up to the DMV Live event, which is the live scholastic period that we run at DeMatha. And his body and his game come a long way, as you see the foul right there.
It's KJ Lewis able to get into the teeth of the defense, and that earned him a trip here to the free throw line. Converts there. Gets the lead back down to 12 as Malik Mack dealing with pressure. Devin Vanderpool picking him up full court. Malik Mack goes through, kicks it out for three. Bud Carrington off the mark, rebounded though. Kick back out to Mack as we've got a reset. Malik Mack sees a lane. Malik Mack!
Ooh, almost got it to go. Nice drive, switch to the offhand there by Mack.
And now you see as the national team beginning to communicate with each other as they've got to figure out those switches. Malik Mack driving hard to the rack. Great job switching hands with the ball in the air to still get that one off. Makes the first.
And Mack is one of the top free throw shooters in the DMV. This is high school head coach Pat Behan. Big fan of his point guard, 4-year player at St. John's. Had a tremendous career for the Cadets.
Coach Pat Behan of the Behan Strong. Head coach diagnosed with ALS at the age of 34. Truly a storybook season for the Cadets as they go on to win the WCAC. A great year for their head coach. 41-31 as the national squad able to drop down a bucket. Coming back the other way, ball's pass knocked away. And now here's a 5-in, 5-out for the Capital squad.
Not a ton of ball handling on the court right now for the local guys. Jacoy Hutchinson should be doing almost all the ball handling here.
Well, we'll see if this is the moment that the national squad goes on a run. As Batiz attempting to fight that back, but a nice defensive swat. Coming back, here comes Lewis. Great job by the Capital squad to get back. You spoke about the fact that the national team is having a bit of an issue with that. The Capital team is getting back on seemingly every play as Lewis puts it in.
Yeah, Greg Jones with the foul there. Hayfield star. 3-point play opportunity, and this game is right back there. We have a 17-point lead about 5 minutes ago, Chad.
Right.
Whittled all the way down to 8 here with 2.5 left in the first half.
And an opportunity here to get it to 7 in some regard, a 2-possession game. And a lot of the damage being done with Williams and Taylor on the bench as the energy is picking up.
Yeah, absolutely. They checked out. This new line checked in, and this is where the damage has come. George Washington commit Jacoy Hutchinson with the ball on the left wing.
Hutchinson, turn around, that jump shot. That's a difficult shot. And the national squad on the rebound is they're now beginning to make the Capital team work for those buckets. Drop down low, and that shot rejected. Nice defensive play. Vanderpool puts it in.
And Carlos Poindexter gets a timeout. I don't know if this is the greatest lineup for his team. Not a ton of offensive firepower on the court right now for the local squad, but they'll have a chance to kind of recalibrate as the lead is down to 6.
And just a beautiful drop-off pass, and Vanderpool able to go up and under, and with that, the lead is down to 6. Still 1 minute and 54 seconds remaining as we spoke about Coach Poindexter calling this timeout, just attempting to stop the bleeding a little bit. He doesn't want for this run to go very much further.
Yeah, and it's difficult in the All-Star games. I believe the local guys have 12 players on the team, so you gotta figure your rotations out. Obviously, if you're putting 5 in, then another 5 in, and you've got 2 left, so the the teams are kind of always shuffling because there's not two separate lines that are alternating. But I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's been a tremendous coach for the last 2 years. The Virginia Class 6 back-to-back state championships at Hayfield. So he's got quite a resume under his belt over there, head coach Carlos Poindexter.
Now, in your experience, and that's Greg Jones, one of his student athletes, in your experience in these all-star type games in the second half, when under the idea that we've got a close game, at that point, are the rotations shortened and maybe you see less of that 5 in, 5 out?
Absolutely. So I talked to Poindexter specifically about that yesterday. I believe at the 5 to 6 minute mark, it'll be, I got to do whatever I got to do to win. And that, I don't think it's really going to hurt feelings, but you got to put the guys in that you think are going to give you the best chance to win the game.
Oh,
and
man.
Are they waving that one off?
They're going to wave that one off. A beautiful job by Vanderpool, able to get that one in the arena. Cameron Barnes went up, and it looks like Stern that Barnes touches the rim first, and he did.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right call.
Here we go, coming back the other way, 42-35. Capital squad in need of a bucket. Rotating it around, attempting to get it down low. Baptiste kicks back out, 3-ball up. Knocks it down. The young man that you've been talking about, Tyler Perkins.
Yeah, and he hasn't really gotten off yet so far today, but it's nice to see him hit a shot here. He's the kind of kid who can get into a rhythm and really score in bunches.
Big shot gets it back up to 10. Nice aggressive take, though, by KJ Lewis as he'll head to the line. As you see here, in need of a bucket, Baptiste finds your guy. Tyler Perkins squares up with that lefty stroke, knocks it in.
And Perkins, boy, has he come along. Was a first-team All-Met kid this year, as we talked about before. Last summer, he was named the MVP of the Capital Hoops Summer League at DeMatha that I also run. 32 teams in that league, and he was the guy who took home MVP honors. So he's really, really blossomed over the last year.
So some would say that Capital Hoops tournament really put him on the map, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity for kids to, get really good competition and show what they've got. I mean, again, you got 32 teams, some of the best teams from the DMV, and to win the MVP, and that's the second kid from Landon in the last 4 years who's won MVP in that league. Keno Lilly, who currently plays at Brown, was named MVP 4 years ago. So those Landon guys like to get it done over at DeMatha in the summertime.
Cameron Barnes, the 6'10" power forward from Duncanville, slashes to the rim and cuts this one down to 7.
And let's see if the local guys here will hold for one shot like they should.
21 seconds.
They don't.
There's your answer, but Tyler Perkins, though, knocks it down. Could have been a 4-point play. A couple of 3-pointers from him, and then he blocks this one out of bounds as well.
Yeah, great hustle by Perkins. Again, it's an all-star game, so kind of clock management and time management may not be
out the window.
Yeah, for sure. But as these kids get to the next level, they got to recognize that if the shot clock is off, if anyone's taking one more shot, it's me and not the other team.
11.1 seconds, trying to get it down low. Good defense by Thomas Baptiste.
Yeah, way to stay on the ground, knock it off his feet. Really good defense by Baptiste. 48-38, 5.4 seconds left here in a pretty low-scoring first half, Chad. 10 minutes per quarter. So you're talking about 25% more time-wise than these high school kids are used to playing in a high school game.
We'll see what Coach Adrian Branch draws up. Baseline out of bounds, looking, and almost knocked away. Lewis. That one's going to be off the mark, and that will take us to the half. A half that's been dominated by the Capital All-Stars as they lead by a score of 48-38. 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. Stern, your thoughts on the first half quickly?
Yeah, our local guys came out firing, did a really good job. A lot of different guys involved. Obviously, Hansberry was kind of the catalyst early. Jamie Kaiser. Tyler Perkins hit a couple late threes, but the local team is definitely the story at this game. But like we know, there's 2 halves to a basketball game, and this is a really good, talented roster on the other side. So we'll kind of see what's in store for the final 20 minutes.
That's right. Amani Hansberry, Mikey Williams, I believe the leading scorer for the national squad as well. All eyes have been on him. Does he have it in him to put on the show to bring the national team all the way back, or will the Capital All-Stars run away with it? And we've actually got Coach Poindexter. He's locked up and ready to go. And here we go. We're throwing it down to Coach Poindexter.
All right, so we are here with Coach Poindexter. Now, Coach, you are up 10 going into the second half. You had a great first half. How do we keep the same energy going into the second half?
Yeah, so in the second half, man, I feel like we got to do a better job of getting back in transition, but that's when they started to make their run a little bit. But for us, continue to share the basketball, make plays, knock down open looks, and then, yeah, get out here with a W.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck. Thank you.
Eric Curry with Coach Carlos Poindexter. 48-38, the Capital squad on top of the national team. One half down, one to go. It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the edge of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
To 38, our score at the half, the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. I'm Chad Ricardo. This, of course, is my main man, Marc Stern, and nobody knows high school hoops like Marc Stern. Mr. Stern, what did you like in that first half?
I like the energy that the local guys came out to. The Capital All-Stars, you know, they came out firing, got out to a hot start, obviously 8-0 to start the game. Little run there by the national guys, cut it to within 6, but the local guys closed the half strong. A couple Tyler Perkins threes extended the lead back to double digits. And it was, you know, a great showing. Obviously, we got another half to go. As you see, Malik Mack hit the 3 early on from straight away. Amani Hansberry leading the break. That was a great dump off from Mack to Jonathan Lamoff, Maryland commit. And the local guys are really representing here. Got a really nice crowd in here. A lot of local basketball guys and the guys and gals in the stands. But this was a great first half, and we're in store for a great game here. As J.J. Taylor gets one of his 2 first half dunks.
You know, when we take a look at this Capital team, Armani Hansberry has had an outstanding first half. I don't know that anyone is surprised to see him putting on a show here. Who, if anybody, has surprised you, though, with their performance from the Capital squad?
Let's see.
I've got a name while you think about it. Jamie Kaiser has been amazing, to me at least.
Yeah, Kaiser's been great. I mean, he's a long forward who can do a lot of different things. So, you know, whether it's hit the glass, whether it's defend, whether it's, you know, crash the board, shoot the 3, get out on the break. He's a very multi-dimensional player. I think Carter Lang is another guy who's really impressive. We talked before, he's got a great body for the next level, headed to Vanderbilt. And he was, he had some really nice stretches there in the first half. Malik Mack, I mean, everyone knows what they're getting with Malik Mack. Sure. One of the top point guards in the DMV. But he had a tremendous first half, has incredible control of the game, balls on the yo-yo every time he has it. But he was splendid in the first half as well, Chad.
Now, we spoke about this, or we touched on it a little bit previously. We talk about Malik Mack. Can't talk about Malik Mack without talking about St. John's. Can't talk about St. John's without speaking of Behan Strong and, of course, Coach Pat Behan. I know that WCAC championship that yourself and your squad, you all were kind of firsthand there. You were behind the scenes. What was that like for you and for your team from an emotional perspective, being there with Coach Pat Behan, knowing everything that he's dealing with and seeing them win that WCAC championship?
Yeah, obviously Pat Behan is going through a lot right now. Like you mentioned on the broadcast, he's going through ALS, which is a crippling disease. I've become really close friends with Coach Behan over the last couple of years. He's got to go up to Boston once a month for treatment with ALS. I was on him on his last trip up to Boston. I took him up there, but it's, Malik Mack has led St. John's to a championship this year. And Behan, obviously you want to win, and you want to win championships as you're a coach. And for Behan to win the WCAC championship against a team like Paul VI,
that's right,
who was #1 in the country for 6 or 7 weeks throughout the season, was an incredible accomplishment. I know Behan is extremely proud of what Mack did from a leadership role this year. And, Mack deserves it. He's a 4-year guy at St. John's. He's been putting in work there for a long time. Obviously, you got Donnie Freeman and Daquan Davis joining him as kind of the star power at St. John's. But they had a magical year this year. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with their story. There's been a couple documentaries on ESPN about Pat Behan and his ALS journey and St. John's winning the championship. But it's quite the storyline, when it comes to DMV basketball and even national basketball to some degree.
And as we have approximately 6 to 7 minutes before we come back from break, from the half to get back. So we'll stay here with Coach Behan, because I do believe that it is such not only a great basketball story, but a story about life and a story about overcoming. When you've spoken with Coach, obviously in winning, we're able to shed the light on that, but how challenging has this journey been for him, and what silver linings does he see in the process?
I mean, it's really challenging. I don't know how much people know about ALS, but it's a debilitating disease. You lose a lot of function in your limbs, and there's a lot of things that you take for granted, whether it's eating, whether it's getting into a car, whether it's walking to a game after you park the car. There's just so many things that are part of normal everyday life that become very, very challenging, and at some point perhaps impossible to do. So he's putting up a great fight right now. He's got a big team around him, but he's a true fighter, and to win a WCAC championship and be named All-Met Coach of the Year this year,
right,
2 incredible accomplishments.
Outstanding stories that we get from the basketball court translating to life, and that's truly what this game is about. It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic, the Capital squad on top of the national team. We'll be right back.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
It's halftime of the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic, the Capital squad on top of the national team. And now we're going to get ready in just a moment to throw it down to the third member of our broadcast team, as Eric Curry has an interview.
All right, so we're here with Mr. Ricky Goins. Now, Mr. Goins, you have a big part to play on this whole event, on this thing coming together. How do you feel today? Are you proud of yourself? Any proud of your team on how you guys got this together and getting this going?
Man, I'm proud of the guys. First, the players for committing to play. our ownership group team and investing the resources to make this big. And also, you know, for Bob Geoghan, who started this, to honor him is huge for us. And I'm excited for what we're about to see.
Now, DMV basketball looks forward to this. This is a huge event that we look forward to. And because of COVID, we missed it for a couple years. So coming back, how does this feel?
Well, it's important that we locked in some of the best players in the country. We got Mikey Williams, we got J.J. Taylor and those guys, man. And so we locked in a great local team with Jamie Kaiser, John Lamoth. We got all the Maryland commits, George Mason, American. So getting those names out here and creating this environment, that was huge.
And now this is going to be a thundering arena today. Are you prepared? Do you know how this energy is going to feel today?
It's going to be electric, man. To be back, you know, this is one of the biggest games probably since LeBron played. Good to have the TV crew here, man. We're just ready to go.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goins.
Director of Player Engagement, Ricky Goins. And Stern, we know how much this game and getting this event back and getting it on this network has meant to him.
Absolutely. Ricky Goins has become a great friend of mine over the past couple of years, and he has done an unbelievable job in revitalizing this game. The alumni relations, the networking, all the components that it takes to put on an event. Ricky has done a tremendous job of, and we've got great rosters, great players, great fans, a lot of alumni engagement, like I mentioned. And, you know, it's a great event. We didn't have it for the last 3 years. Obviously, COVID played a big part in that. But I think Ricky's done a great job kind of heading up the revitalization of this.
And now we're going to go back down to the hardest working man in the building. Eric Curry has another interview now with Mr. Pete Dowdis.
All right, so we're here with the CFO of the Capital Classic, Pete Dowdis. Now, Mr. Pete.
Yes, sir.
This is a huge game for the community.
Absolutely.
You are a part owner of this, helping put this together, helping this thing get running. What does this mean to you?
This means everything to me, and especially means a lot this year as we lost our founder and chairman, Bob Geoghan, last February. Bob started this game 50 years ago. This is our 50th anniversary. Bob started it all. This game started it all. It birthed the McDonald's All-American game and birthed the Jordan game. And this means a lot to the DMV community, given the fact that we have the best basketball in the country, and we're pitting it against the best in the U.S. So it's a special year, especially coming off 3 years of not having a game because of COVID.
Now, like you said, this is the 50th anniversary. They say that this might be the biggest game since LeBron James. How do you feel about that?
I think we've had great talent since LeBron and everything, but I think just because it's the 50th anniversary, again, Bob's passing, 3 years of not having a game with COVID, we got some great players here, you know, led by Mikey Williams on the U.S. team. We got some supreme players on the Capital team as well. So we're really pleased about all of this.
Greatness is the only thing to be expected. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Couple of minutes until we come back from halftime in what has been a truly outstanding game. Stern, quickly, what do you look forward to in the second half?
A lot of the same thing we saw in the first half. Looking for our local guys to put on a show, hopefully get a win here. Mikey Williams, I'm sure, will get the crowd oohing and ahhing. Right. I'm sure he'll be in the game in crunch time if it's a close game. So, you know, I'm looking for good competition and looking for our stars to shine here tonight.
That's right. Eric Curry has another special guest. We'll throw it back down to you, E.
We are here with Mr. Tom Doyle. Now, Mr. Doyle, you are a big reason why we're here today. What does this Capital Classic mean to you, and what does it mean to be at the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic?
I mean, you know, I grew up going to this game when I was at the Capital Center with my father, sitting in the nosebleeds. And, you know, when they came involved in 2014, and then Pete and I took it over from Bob, keeping Bob Geoghan with us, working it. I mean, it's kind of a dream. It's such a beautiful event, and it belongs to the district, to the DMV, to be able to bring it back and have some of the top talent in the country in the DMV. I mean, this is not about me and not about Pete. This is about Bob. We're torchbearers just to bring it back in a big way and keep it going forever.
Now, what does it mean to have some of the biggest names in basketball for the comeback because the game has been gone for about 3 years. So for the comeback of the Capital Classic, have some of the biggest names in the country. What does this mean to you?
That was huge. I mean, obviously, we got Mikey Williams to come into play, which was, when we said we're going to do this, we went after, the top talent. And, you look at the UF team, most of these guys are ranked in the top 50 in the country, all going to high-level D1 schools, and the DMV team. Every one of these boys is going to D1. I mean, I'm just so proud of those kids, too. We've got 2 kids going to Harvard, UPenn. So to bring it back as we wanted the big names, and we got it. So we're real happy.
Oh, this is a huge comeback. I know this means a lot to you. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the game. Thank you.
That's Eric Curry with CEO Tom Doyle. And just a moment ago, we saw down on the court, Stern, the illustrious Malcolm Battle receiving an award.
Yeah, Malcolm Battle led the Bard High School to the DCI AA championship this year, one of the biggest upsets in DCI AA history. He's an assistant coach here on the national team today, and it was really cool kind of in his backyard here in Southeast DC to be awarded with a plaque like that.
Local heroes, local legends being awarded. The Capital All-Stars on tap for the national squad. We're coming back with game action next. It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown. You're watching the SFL ELF of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
And we're back for the second half action here at the Capital Classic. We're underway. Shot going to be off the mark by the Capital squad. The national team already put a bucket in, and J.J. Taylor takes a hard fall.
Yeah, Mike Nwoku just got a put-back layup a minute ago as we were coming back in here to cut that 10-point deficit down to 8 for the National All-Stars, and they'll have a chance to go to the line here as J.J. Taylor. Oh, no, I guess they're not calling it a shooting foul. Baseline out of bounds for Mikey Williams.
As a second look at the Nwoku bucket to start the half. Taylor with a 3 as we've seen Taylor and Mikey Williams take shots, so they're looking to be aggressive. As a turnover by the Capital squad.
Yesterday at practice, Chad, at the end of practice, Chuck Drizel, Murray coach, who's an assistant coach on the national team, was drawing up a couple of baseline out of bounds plays with some backdoor action for an alley-oop, and I'm waiting to see them try to execute one of those plays he was leading the charge with last night.
As there is coming off of the high screen, Trey Green knocks down a jump shot, getting this lead down to 6. You talk about Chuck Drizel. He's a head coach out there at the Murray School, of course, the son of the legendary Lefty Drizel.
Yeah, Drizel's been at it for quite a while. He was a college coach for a long time, and he's been back at Murray for probably about 8 or 9 years now, I'd say, as the national team gets this deficit to within 4. Chad, I believe this might be the closest it's been the entire game
of the game
since it was 4-0.
That's right.
5-0. Yeah.
That's right. 48-44 as Lewis put that one in with the assist from Mikey Williams. Going hard to the rack is Hansberry, though.
And that has to be a shooting foul. He's calling that on the floor.
We see Hansberry drawing hard, and that's clearly in the air.
I don't know if we're watching the same game as he is.
Maybe they say that J.J. Taylor had a hand on the hip before. Maybe.
Perhaps.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. How about that?
Either way, baseline out of bounds for Jonathan Lamoth.
Into Lang. Lang looking to operate with the Dirk Nowitzki 1-footer. Mikey Williams on the rebound.
And this is where he's at his best in transition.
Williams drops it off to Green, up and under. No, rebounded, rejected.
Nice block by Monty Hansberry as Kaiser has the one-on-one. Nice strip.
That one knocked away. Here comes Green. They've got numbers that they want them. Green to Taylor. It's down to a 2-point game, 48-46. Here comes the national squad.
And it might be time for Carlos Poindexter to call his second time out here soon.
Mack coming off the high pick and roll. Malik Mack. Oh, that one rims out on him.
Deep two with the foot on the line for Malik Mack.
And get another shot at it. Is now coming back the other way. We saw Green, the vision, eyes in the back of his head. J.J. Taylor knows what to do with it. Two-handed jam, and this is a one-possession game. Hansberry.
And the local guys can't buy a bucket here.
Mikey Williams coming back the other way. Thought about the three. Gets it over into the corner to his teammate and future teammate, J.J. Taylor. Somewhere Anthony Hardaway is smiling. Back into the hands of Green. High pick and roll. Comes off of it. Green for three. Lang can't corral it, and we're tied. Mike Nwoku.
In the first half, the local guys, the Capital All-Stars, got out to an 8-0 lead. And here to start the second half, the national team, a 10-0 extended run and counting.
Malik Mack able to get it back to Lamoth. Lamoth deep three. A lot of stagnant shots by the Capital squad right now.
And the Capital team needs a bucket.
It's all about energy in the first half. Now those 50-50 balls are in favor of the national squad.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Adrian Branch talked about at halftime, but they definitely seem to be a little rejuvenated here, the national team.
As Lewis comes over, KJ Lewis got a hand on that one. He's headed to Arizona. Hansberry gets J.J. Taylor up in the air, but coming back the other way is Lewis. Lewis looking to get to the rack, and Malik Mack. Straight to the hole, but still can't buy a bucket. A 2-on-1. Green challenges. Two great opportunities to take the lead for the national squad, but not yet, say the basketball gods.
And Chad, for the first time today, we're having one individual lone sub check in at the same time as Bob Carrington checks in. Not sure if Malik Mack has a little injury to his left knee as he looks like he's heading back to the trainer, or if it's a more strategic move. But Mack is definitely out of the game, and he's talking to someone on the sidelines there as Carrington checks in for him.
Lang had that one knocked away. He gets it down to Hansberry, who attacks the rack, and this one too called on the floor.
Local guys not getting the kind whistle with the shooting fouls here.
Leading scorers for the game in the first half, Jamie Kaiser had 12 for the Capital squad. Mikey Williams had 11 in the first half for the Nationals.
Malik Mack, 4 points, 4 assists. Carter Lang had 7 points. Lamoth, 5. Tyler Perkins had 8, including those 2 threes to close the first half.
Right now, the Caps are looking for anybody to buy a bucket, and they can't get one.
And they've got a 4-on-1 here.
And Lewis puts it in, and for the first time today, the national squad has the lead.
50-48 as Carlos Poindexter goes to his 5 subs to check in here, maybe a little early than he had anticipated. As Kaiser finally gets the local guys on the board, 50-50. Jamie Kaiser with the layup.
Nice work by Jamie Kaiser, able to get him back into the flow. Mikey Williams starting to dance. Williams pulls up. Rebounded by Carrington. Carrington advancing. Looks for his teammate. Drops it off to Lamoth, and Jonathan Lamoth. The Capitals retake the lead.
And they needed that. 4 quick unanswered points by the home team here, as both teams will now send 5 to the scorers table to check in at the next dead ball, which should be an under 5 TV timeout.
Deep 3 by Green. This one rims out, and Jamie Kaiser, look at the hustle play there, though, by Trey Green to take away a surefire 2 points.
Absolutely. You like to see hustle in a game like this. Games like this are not known for plays like that, but that was Way to get back, give the foul, and make them earn it from the line.
Well, that's what we did not see in the first half, especially from the national squad, was that type of hustle, that type of intensity. They've come out here in the second half, and they've got their foot on the pedal, and that's why they've not only gotten back into this game, but at least momentarily took the lead.
For sure. You love to see effort. Love to see effort in a game like this. Don't always see it. Definitely not something you take for granted, but it's, you know, you want to win. You want to win. You got to make winning plays in order to win.
Kaiser misses on the first free throw.
And Malik Mack looks like he's back on the Capital All-Stars bench. Hope he's all right. Looks like his knee was being attended to a little bit. Hope everything's all right for the Harvard commit.
I certainly don't want to speculate from up here, but if you're listening at home, it looked like, from the 200-foot perspective, it looked like they were looking more so at a scratch than an injury of any sorts, but certainly just speculation on our behalf.
Yeah, it didn't look like anything serious, but he was subbed out of the game, so that was why I kind of brought it to light.
Absolutely.
Another substitution here. Lafayette Williams will check in for Jamie Kaiser.
There's a turnover by the national squad. Capital team up by 2, 52-50. This is a lead that had been in double digits for a majority of the game. National squad coming out with a new light and new life here in the second half. That'll be another turnover, as we've got Braden Pierce saying that it was tipped. The officials don't agree.
Yeah, didn't get a great look at that one, Chad. But Pierce was certainly convinced that they should have retained possession, but couldn't sell it to the official.
Devin Vanderpool, who had himself an impressive first half, if not necessarily scoring the ball, certainly with his pesky defense. They drop it down low, kick it back out for 3. Carrington able to get a hand on it, and coming back the other way is Lafayette Williams. Williams hard to the rack.
And he'll go to the line with an opportunity to score some points. He's the only DCI AA player, that's the public school sector in Washington, D.C., to be represented in this basketball game. DCI AA has a long history of tremendous ball players, and Williams will continue that legacy here.
We spoke briefly, speaking of the DCI AA, about Malcolm Bard and Malcolm Battle and the Bard team winning the DCI AA. They won the DCS AAs as well, I believe. I believe they won states as well. So the double-double for a squad that's only been a team for the last couple of years.
Yeah, Malcolm Battle, who's formerly at Cesar Chavez in D.C., has done a tremendous job, not just with the basketball team, but he's known as a real community guy who helps out kind of underprivileged kids in Southeast D.C. and has really put a stamp on, on helping kids out and putting together an incredible basketball team.
He's got his own tremendous story, a survivor of gun violence, and now, as you alluded to, doing his best to bring safety and light to the community. As that pass going to sail out of bounds for the national squad. They were beginning to find something. Now they've gotten a little cold again. 53-50 is our score. The Capital squad leads the U.S. All-Stars. It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown.
You're watching the SFL ELF
of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
we're back at the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. Not only the best basketball players in the nation here in attendance, you're looking at Anton Harrison, Carroll Lions graduate, went to Oklahoma University and was drafted in the first round of the draft. Now headed out to play with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Throwing some balls into the stands, giving back to the community. This is what it's all about. It's what you love to see.
Absolutely. Love to see our DMV guys doing great things. And no exception here. First round NFL pick, you've got to be doing something right. I know you've gotten to know him over the years, Chad, and looks like a great young man with a bright future in front of him. Four
DMV student athletes drafted in the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday night. A truly special occasion as the DMV is on the rise.
Absolutely. Back here in action as the local team, the Capital All-Stars, lead the National All-Stars 53-50. Lafayette Williams gets bailed out a little bit there as he went up, didn't have a lot of options, but drew the whistle, and he'll be back at the free throw line.
Nice little response here by the Capital squad as it appeared for a moment there that all of the momentum was with the national team, but you do what you got to do in these situations. Slow the game down, get to the free throw line, and just find a way to kind of inch that lead back up. That's what the Capital squad has done.
For sure. The wheels were definitely falling off the bus there, but Carlos Poindexter, Hayfield head coach, has gotten order restored a little bit, and Williams will look to extend this lead to 5, which you can't do. 4-point lead. So Tyler Perkins is in there. Second chance point. Tyler Perkins brings the lead back out to 6 for the local All-Stars.
Tyler Perkins with a couple of three-pointers made there, banging the boards as well. The Landon alum soon to be, showing the true versatility of his game as now ball kicks it forward. Bob Carrington thought about the 3. Carrington will take this one. We told you he wasn't shy. Here comes Vanderpool, gets it out ahead and dunking it with 2 hands.
Malik Bowman with the big finish.
And now getting this down 56-52.
And we haven't seen Austin Ball get off yet. Ball might be the best shooter in this game. And not sure if he's attempted one yet, but he is, like I said, a prolific shooter, headed to George Mason. We'll see if he can get on track.
Corner 3 is knocked in by Kenny Satterfield.
Yeah, KJ Satterfield, son of former Cincinnati legend Kenny Satterfield, hits the 3. 1-point ball game here as Tyler Perkins hits the mean step back. Perkins, I believe he's up to 13 or 14 on the night at 8 in the first half. Just had that putback bucket a minute ago. And it looks like the local guys will be making another big substitution change here at the next dead ball. 58-55, Capital All-Stars on top.
Here we go. Coming off of that pick and roll, Vanderpool. This one going to be rebounded as Conte gets the national squad a second chance attempt. And now Conte for 3. This one rims out. Offensive rebound, though, put up and fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. As the third member of our broadcast team, Eric Curry, has found another special guest. Eric?
Now, we are here with Jonathan Lamoth. Jonathan, you are committed to Maryland, and this is home for you, and soon you're going to be performing in front of these amazing fans that you are performing in front of right now. So how does that feel for you?
It's exciting to be able to do it in front of all these nice fans and against the top guys in the country, so it feels good.
So what do you have to say to all the University of Maryland fans watching right now at home? What can they expect from you this upcoming season?
Expect for me to play hard, make shots, defend, and just do anything I can to win. So me, Jamie, Braden out here just trying to just get it started now.
And last question, the Capital Classic is a huge deal for us DMV basketball fans. How does it feel for you to be performing in this great and amazing and legendary game?
It's a blessing. It's a lot of nice guys in the NBA that played in this and even before my time. So it's just a blessing to be in it and to be a captain in it. So it's a huge honor, and I'm glad to be in here.
Thank you so much, and I wish the best for you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Eric Curry with University of Maryland commit Jonathan Lamoth, and coming back the other way The Capital squad with the rebound up by a score of 58-57. Thought about the corner three, going to drive to the rim as the intensity begins to pick back up again. Jones tries to go cross court. This one knocked away. Throwing the alley, can't freak the oop. Jones.
Greg Jones headed up court. He'll be playing for Dwayne Simpkins, new head coach at American University. Thomas Batiste passed it to Jacoy Hutchinson. As Hutchinson checked in a minute ago, we saw a George Washington flag being draped from the second level here at the arena.
58-57, 7 seconds remaining on that shot clock, 47 in the quarter. A foul going to be called, so that'll be a bit of a bailout as they were down under 5 on the shot clock.
This has been a quick third quarter, Chad. Quick
yes,
third
it was.
Quarter, fairly low scoring third quarter. Not a lot of action, I guess, but 58-57 as Greg Jones will head to the free throw line as we take a look at that foul. Looks like he might have gotten tripped.
As Jones 1-and-1, able to extend the lead to 2.
And Jones plays for his head coach in this game, Carlos Poindexter at Hayfield. Jones has been one of the top public school players in Virginia for the last 2 years. Has a pair of state championships under his belt. He's dealt with a lot of injuries this year. Only averaged about 11 or 12 points a game this year after having a tremendous junior year. But his priority now is kind of getting his health back in order as American University looms next year.
Hard to the rack goes Malik Bowman, who has made a huge difference here in this third quarter. As we're tied, this one knocked out of bounds. 29.5 seconds remaining in the quarter. 24 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see what Coach Poindexter has drawn up. Getting it into the hands of Batiste. Batiste with the three.
Let's see if the National All-Stars will hold for one, and it looks like we might get our first situation of the game where they do.
That's right. Coach Adrian Branch barking out orders from the sideline. Ball in the hands. 10 seconds remaining in the quarter of a tie game, 59 apiece. Coming off the high pick and roll. A little hesitation. Gets into the lane and laying it in with the left hand. And headed into the fourth quarter, the National squad has come all the way back to take a 2-point lead. 61-59. You are in for an exciting fourth quarter at the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic.
Goodman League playoffs. Another day of NCL action. To the end of the touchdown.
You're watching the SFL ELF
of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
And 61-59 is our score headed into the fourth quarter of the Capital Classic. This has been a feverish comeback by the national team, who Stern at times looked like they were going to get run out of the building.
Yeah, they did a great job in the third quarter. I love the way KJ Satterfield, as we're watching right now, ended the third quarter. Took the ball out to the top and just dribbled the clock out. Had a nice hezzy, took the ball to the cup and got a lay-in with less than 2 seconds left. Last shot of the quarter. And they'll hold a 2-point lead as we head into the fourth and final quarter here from Southeast DC.
Now, if you're Coach Poindexter, again, you're looking at a squad that was up double digits for 2.5 quarters of this game. How challenging is it to kind of put your foot back onto the gas to crank this back up again?
Yeah, I would assume in 3 or 4 minutes you're going to see him put out the guys he thinks give him the best chance to win this game. Obviously, everyone's gotten pretty equal playing time up until now. I don't know what team he'll go with, but I think he'll try to put a lineup out there that gives them the best chance to win. And I assume Adrian Branch will do the same thing the other way, as JaQuoy Hutchinson hits a 3-ball from straight away to bring the lead back to the Capital All-Stars, 62-61 here to open the fourth quarter.
Very important. Coming back the other way is Mikey Williams. Drops it off to Green. Deep three. That one rims out on him. Battling for the boards, and that's going to be a jump ball called. Look for the possession arrow. It'll stay here with the national team as Jones and Singari got wrapped up.
And the U.S. All-Stars did a really good job of rebounding the ball there in the third quarter. Offensive boards, they got some second chance points. Use that height advantage that I kind of mentioned earlier. And right there you see a good usage of the size. Ball didn't drop. As Hansberry's pass sails out of bounds, and national team will retain possession.
Yusuf Singari headed to UConn, a team that loves to grind. He looks like he'll fit in well there. Mikey Williams was the leading scorer at halftime for the national team. Draws the foul there. He'll head to the line for two.
Mikey Williams gets that superstar treatment. Those fouls called a la Michael Jordan back in the day. You nick his wrist. Look at him dirty. You're getting called for the foul.
Williams to the line for two. Misses on the first. As we see here, the national squad, Mikey Williams pulls up. You know, Stern, he might have gotten hit there.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Made a good call there, but we've seen calls the other way, not get called, but you know, it is what it is. Basketball is a sport where a lot of subjectivity.
Second attempt for Mikey Williams is good. 62 apiece. 8 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. Jonathan Lamothe drains the three.
And a great extra pass from Thomas Batiste there, who had a shot but swung it over to the open lethal shooter in Lamothe.
65-62. Mikey Williams to the basket again. Listen. Here's what scorers do. You need a bucket, you find a way to get to the free throw line.
You're not lying. That's two possessions in a row. Williams has drawn the foul, kind of forced the ref to blow the whistle. And, you know, when you're a prolific scorer like Mikey Williams, you've got some experience in that department, Chad.
He had 5 free throw attempts in the first half. He's been able to get back to the free throw line again here in the second half, finding a way to put points on the board.
Second free throw is good. 66-65, U.S. All-Stars.
66-65.
Let's see what JaQuoy Hutchinson's got. Down to Hansberry. Hansberry on the left wing.
This is Hansberry kicking out to Batiste. Batiste now the deep shot, and he banked it in. Did he call it, Marc Stern? Did he call it?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, Chad, but that shot is good. 68-65.
Here we go, coming back the other way. This one going to be knocked away. That's going to be a foul called. 2-point advantage now for the Capital squad. There's the kick out. There's Thomas Batiste. I just got a text from Steve Turner. He said that Batiste texted him and said he was going to bank that shot in. So we'll go with a yes there. How about that? As Thomas Batiste will head to the free throw line.
And it looks like there was just
the correction to the
adjustment
score.
on the scoreboard there.
Well, what it was is that the game was tied when the three-pointer was knocked in by the Capital squad. Mikey Williams came back and made a free throw or two, but this is the correct score, 68-64 to the Capital team. That is correct. It was incorrect in the arena momentarily.
And Batiste there missed the front end of the one-on-one as J.J. Taylor comes down the lane trying to draw a foul, doesn't get the whistle, and we're headed the other way.
4-point advantage for this Capital team. Have they weathered the storm? And can they pull this one out? 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Hutchinson comes off of a couple of picks, gets it back into the hands of Batiste. Batiste, he can do so many things. Down low, drops it off. Hansberry can't finish. Mikey Williams coming back the other way. Williams on the crossover, throws it up and throws it down.
And that's a 4-point swing right there. You get a wide open, uncontested dunk, and Hansberry can't finish.
Jonathan Lamothe, no. Hansberry seems to be a little bit out of steam right now as he has not been able to go to work the way that he did in the first half.
And he just gave a frustration foul. He slapped at the defender. Obviously, he's irritated. He couldn't convert that dunk.
Taking a look back, it was Williams with the beautiful pass, the alley and the oop. KJ Lewis, 68-66, down to a 2-point advantage. As we see Jamie Kaiser coming back in.
And now you see a different substitution pattern. 3 subs come into the game.
Sure.
As Tyler Perkins, Kaiser, Amani Hansberry stays in the game. Bub Carrington enters the game. So I think you'll see Poindexter kind of playing with the lineups and really at this point emphasizing what can I do to win this ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, we spoke at the outset of this game about how excited we were, albeit for a week, for a month, for an entire year, getting back to the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic. We just wanted to see these young men play on this stage, but now, Mark, we done messed around and got ourselves a ball game, 2-point game, 7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining.
Absolutely. When you come to an all-star game, obviously you want to see competition. You want to see teams compete. You want to see a team try to win. It's no guarantee that's going to happen. I mean, you look at the playoffs last night, huge NBA playoff game with the Lakers and Grizzlies, 40-point game. It doesn't always happen, but obviously when you're in a spot like this and teams have an opportunity to win and execute down the stretch, that's kind of the name of the game and, what you sign up to see.
Now, I know that you being, again, the big-time hoops aficionado that you are, I received a text that said that you were at that Laker game in Los Angeles last night, took a red eye on a PJ back here to make it back for the Capital Classic this morning. Any truth to that? Can you confirm or deny?
I plead the fifth.
All right. 68-66 is our score here. Mikey Williams, young man that a lot of you tuned in to see. Does he have the magic to put the national squad on top? He's got Hutchinson on him and alley-oop, and Wuko couldn't bring it down. Nice defensive play made by Hansberry. Coming back the other way, Perkins. Tyler Perkins!
And Tyler
Bang!
Perkins, every time this kid plays, he makes the University of Pennsylvania coaching staff look smarter and smarter.
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure that there are a couple of other coaching staffs out there that are saying, is there any chance I can get a hold of this young man? That foul going to be on in Wuku as look who drew it. It was Perkins, but we see him step into this transition 3, ice in his veins, knocks it down.
And we had an interesting play the other way here as Amani Hansberry kind of went crashing into the shooter, could have potentially been called for a foul on the 3, and then we get a loose ball foul going the other way. And I think the refs might converge to talk about whether free throws should come from this or not. I don't know if that's an offensive foul or a loose ball foul, but the local team is in the bonus here, and it looks like they will be giving him free throws.
So Tyler Perkins headed back to the line. Listen, when you begin talking about most valuable player of this game on this stage in this magnitude, Tyler Perkins has got to be the first in line.
Absolutely. Obviously, I think that award will be predicated on who wins the game. But if the local boys can hold on for the win, I think Perkins at this point in the game, obviously there's 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to play, but I think he's your guy up to this point. He's hit 3 threes, a couple free throws there, a few putbacks, and he's got the number of points, and obviously these guys are playing limited minutes as well. They're not playing their full share of 26, 28 minutes like they're used to in the high school season.
73-66. Mikey Williams again looking to operate. Mikey Williams puts that one in. 5-point advantage. Mikey Williams not wasting any time. He wants to win this game.
And Mikey Williams is matched up here with Jacoy Hutchinson at the top. Hansberry sets the screen.
As Hansberry doing battle down low, he wants the rock. This one taken away. In transition, nice step over and lay in. KJ Lewis going to work.
And Perkins there kind of got the ball stripped from him. Might be one thing he needs to work on a little bit as he gets to the next level is kind of his ball handling.
And an offensive foul going to be called on Hansberry, but we see Perkins, this one poked away by KJ Lewis, gets all the way down, nice coast-to-coast action, lays it in over Kaiser. 3-point advantage as the defensive pressure picks up at the national squad, looking to get this one to 1 and or tie it. Mikey Williams coming off of the high pick and roll. Pulls up. Williams, nothing but air.
Pretty good D by Jacoy Hutchinson there to kind of hold his ground, not go with him on all the ball fakes and hesitation moves.
Love to see the intensity of the young men. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. 26 seconds on the shot clock. High pick and roll. Jamie Kaiser comes off of it. Hansberry can't get hands on it. 3-on-1 break. Coming back the other way. Throws it up and again. Mama, there goes that man, Javante J.J. Taylor.
And that's the third time that Trey Green has thrown an alley-oop to Taylor. Twice in the second half, once in the first half. Really, really good kind of open court passer. Obviously, Taylor with the dynamic finishes over and over again.
Bob Carrington comes back with the answer, but we take another look here. J.J. Taylor just high flying. You look at his length, you look at his athleticism. He truly translates to the next level.
Absolutely. And we got another line substitution here by the United States All-Stars as Adrian Branch will bring a new 5 in here with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left. Probably thinking around the 3-minute mark. Maybe he'll make a sub or two and get his kind of final lineup into the game to make a push to try to win this ball game.
Bob Carrington with the outstanding answer. And now 75-72 is the score. Picking up with some man pressure. 4-point advantage, 76-72. The Capital team, the 3-point play by Carrington, and now 3-point shot.
Good contest there by Tyler Perkins.
And the alley-oop, Kaiser just couldn't finish it. Coming back the other way. Trailing by 2 scores. Nice job, and that's going to be a foul called as Conte will head to the line.
And that's a couple gimme buckets that the Capital All-Stars have not converted on. You had that missed dunk by Hansberry a few minutes back, and now you get a 2-on-1 with an open alley-oop you can't convert. Going to need some good execution down the stretch here for the Capital All-Stars if they want to pull off the W.
4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in what has been entertaining throughout, and now is also intense to boot.
Chad, I think we mentioned this at the top, but we haven't had this game for the last couple of years.
That's right.
Obviously, COVID was a big reason as to why. But I believe the last time we had this game, the local team won. Mike Jones, who's formerly of DeMatha and Virginia Tech, and now is an assistant at University of Maryland, coached the local guys in a game that was at then called Wilson High School, now Jackson Reed. Joe Girard, Syracuse great, had a big game in that one, but I believe that was the last game we had. So if the local guys can get another W in the books here.
Well, and taking a look at it, in the 49 previous matchups, the national squad has won 32 of them. 32-17 was that count coming into today. So local DMV young men looking to take 2 in a row.
Yeah, there was a stretch I remember. I don't know the exact years off the top of my head, but there was definitely a stretch of 5, 6, 7 in a row that the national guys won, and a lot of them were a bit one-sided. But it's good to get that streak reversed and see the local guys compete. And obviously our guys, local guys here, have led for the majority of this ball game as Tyler Perkins is getting the fans on their feet.
Tyler Perkins does it again, and he's not only making buckets, he's making buckets at key times.
And there's a great defensive play by Perkins. He was set up to try to draw the charge.
Look at Tyler Perkins getting it ahead. Lang can't finish. National team trailing by 6. 4 minutes remaining. Throws it up again. That one may have been ill-advised. Now into the hands of Perkins. Perkins from way downtown. And bang!
Tyler Perkins going crazy as Adrian Branch calls the timeout. Perkins, perhaps, I'm not going to say the least heralded guy on this team, but a guy that many in here may not know a lot about, and he is proven to be perhaps the best player in this game tonight.
82-73, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tyler Perkins Show. It's the 50th anniversary of the nation's most heralded all-star game. This is the Capital Classic.
Goodman League playoffs.
Another day of NCL action.
To the end of the touchdown.
You're watching the SFL ELF
Of the NCL on Next Level Sports.
It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic, and Tyler Perkins has come into the building and set this thing on fire.
Chad, the first year of the Capital Classic, it was Moses Malone who everyone came out to see. And tonight, it's people going to be going home talking about Tyler Perkins. Moses Malone to Tyler Perkins. That's the 50-year span of the Capital Classic up till now. But Perkins, as you see this highlight package here, has been absolutely incredible, especially in the second half. That three he hit a minute ago, that deep three, maybe not the highest percentage shot, but he's certainly in heat check territory right now as he pulls up from well beyond the NBA range. You see his teammates, Thomas Batiste on the bench, going crazy here, and the Capital All-Stars have really kind of regained control, up 82-73 behind Perkins.
This explosion by Perkins got it back up to 9, but Mikey Williams continues to go to work. Last two buckets, he's looked for a foul, didn't get one on either. Cuts this lead back down to 7. Can the national team come up with the stop? Malik Mack with the ball in his hands. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Mack going to work on Williams, and he's going to draw a foul, and they're in the bonus.
Yeah, double bonus here. Going to the line for 2. Malik Mack, good to see him out here. Checked out of the game in the third quarter with maybe a minor scratch to his knee or something like that, but it's nice to see him come back in and compete with the local squad.
82-75. The Tyler Perkins show. You have been invited to it. And we were talking about his journey just a year ago. Maybe not many individuals knew who he was. He went and played in your tournament and won MVP honors there. And now today, potentially on the verge of doing the same on this monumental stage.
Absolutely. Great performance. Way to cap off an incredible career for Perkins.
84-75. National team needs a bucket. Mikey Williams wants to give it to him. I tell you what.
Ooh, what a great rip by Bob Carrington. And Mikey Williams gets that superstar treatment again. And Williams is so electric with the ball. These hesitations, the way he keeps it on a yo-yo, just like Malik Mack does.
Get into the rack. Carrington came down. He came down over. I don't know whether he got arm or ball, but you can see where a call could be initiated there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mikey Williams back to the free throw line. He's made a living here tonight and now really carrying this team as the national squad has been able to score in transition. In the set game, it's really been all about Mikey Williams. There's the offensive rebound, a key block by Lang. Malik Mack going to come away with it.
And let's see if they work on clock a little bit, or...
Carrington turns it over, 2-on-1. Williams got it up, gave it up early and can't convert. Lewis in that, almost.
And a great contest there by Tyler Perkins without fouling. And what's the call here? We got the refs talking, not sure if it's a foul or a travel. Obviously, he went down very awkwardly.
As we take a look here, KJ Lewis in the air. You spoke about it. Perkins not fouling. And Nwoko, look, when you're young and you fall the way that Nwoko just did, your leg comes back from under you. If you or I fall like that, Stern, I don't know that we walk out of this thing.
You're right about that one, especially me.
Sometimes walking downstairs is hard for me at this age, Stern.
I'm with you on that one, Chad.
84-76.
Chad, I had a great chance, I think it was yesterday, to talk to Stu Vetter, who's one of the one of the prominent coaches to ever come out of the DMV, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 coaches to come out of the area. And he told me a great story about a former player of his named Mike Pepper, who played in the Capital Classic. This is, 20, 30 years ago. And he played in the prelim game of the Capital Classic. And coming into the game, he slipped Dean Smith a note before the game saying, make sure you keep an eye on my guy, Mike Pepper. Mike Pepper went on to have the best high school game he'd ever had in his career in the Capital Classic. UNC offered him a scholarship along with Louisville and some other schools the following day. And Mike Pepper went on to be a 4-year player at North Carolina. And Vetter says, without that Capital Classic performance, his entire life would have been different. He never would have played arguably Division I basketball. So that's just a story of what the Capital Classic have done for some of their players throughout the years.
It's an amazing story. An amazing story indeed. The Capital Classic creating opportunities, just as Mikey Williams did there, dropping it off to his now and future teammate J.J. Taylor. Needs 2 from the free throw line, converts the first.
84-77. I wonder if we're done with substitutions here or if there's more in store, maybe dependent upon situations down the stretch here. But I know one thing, Tyler Perkins will be on the court for the local team. So Monty Hansberry with the rebound.
J.J. Taylor goes 1 for 2. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. National team doesn't only need points, they need stops. As that rebound, Taylor gets hands on it, gets it out to Lewis. Lewis looking to attack Hansberry, does so. Hansberry hands up in the air, no foul called, and Wuku gets it out to Green for 3. No, Lewis can't rebound, and Hansberry rips it down. This is what we saw him do in the first half. Hansberry runs the bait, gets it to Perkins. This whole place would have erupted had Perkins nailed that one. Hansberry has it knocked away.
Great strip from Green there.
Green looking to get to the basket. What a block by Carrington. Mack gets it ahead to Hansberry. Hansberry throws it down, and with 1:47 remaining, the Capital team goes up by 9.
And Hansberry didn't get a ton of lift there, Chad. I was expecting him to go up and do something magical, but he got the bucket to go. And we're up to a 9-point lead for the Capital All-Stars.
What a block by Carrington, and we see there as Hansberry gets the ball over the hoop. I think that's the objective at the end of the day, right?
Got to do what you got to do to get that ball in the basket, however necessary.
86-77 is the score right now. 1:47 remaining. I mean, the Capital team has just been able to play defense and control the boards when they've needed to do so. Another look at Anton Harrison. Carroll graduate, now headed to the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars. First round draft pick where dreams do come true, and they're coming true here in the Capital Classic. 9-point disadvantage. What does the national team have to do?
National team needs to get stops and make some shots. Luckily for them, the Capital All-Stars aren't really taking the air out of the ball. They're not, utilizing clock and time at this point in the game, which is understandable for an All-Star game. But given that, you might have a little better opportunity to come back if you're not, taking 30 seconds off the clock every time you have possession.
Got to imagine the ball will.
And that'll hurt. Malik Mack draws the foul. A turnover on an offensive foul on that screen set there. That's a killer.
And that's just a smart play by Malik Mack. As we see here, setting up the high pick and roll, and still moving indeed was Papa Conte, and that's KJ Satterfield not taking the time to allow for Conte to get in place to set the pick, and that comes from student athletes not playing together much. Malik Mack. Satterfield now with 1:20 remaining. The national squad needs a bucket, and they need it quick. Thinking about it, going to the rack, and what's interesting here is that we see Coach Adrian Branch coming back to a substitution. Mikey Williams Taylor out of the game for the last minute.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. And now you see Bob Carrington taking the air out of the ball a little bit as Satterfield defends. No 5-second count on the closely guarded call here. These are college rules, same way they use in the private schools in the DMV area here.
And Amani Hansberry and lets him know you're too small. An impressive ball game for him as he showed up big again here in the fourth quarter. It's a nice pick and roll by Hansberry and Bob Carrington. You talked about it. These two individuals that play up in the Baltimore area. Carrington with the nice pocket pass. Hansberry finishing with the left.
Yeah, Hansberry's been great today. If Tyler Perkins wasn't around, Hansberry would probably be in line to win himself an MVP. But Hansberry's done a lot of good things today. Really manned the post for the local guys, the Capital All-Stars. 10-point lead with 42 seconds left.
David Vanderpool has one more. All right, it's a 3-possession game. May take a little bit of a miracle here from the national squad, but we'll see what they got. Advancing it to Mack. Mack gonna take time off of the clock wisely, pulls it back out. Mack to the corner to Tyler Perkins. He wanted it. Vanderpool out ahead. Papacante, Vanderpool, little alley-oop action. Get it down now to 7, but
Adrian Branch will wave the white flag as the local boys will go on to win. 88-81 as Malik Mack dribbles the ball out. Fans are on their feet. And there it is, Chad. It's a wrap. Local All-Stars, Capital All-Stars, 88. U.S. All-Stars, 81. Great showing down here from Southeast D.C. tonight.
A game that was led throughout by the Capital team in the first half. For a large part of it, by double digits, the Capital squad led the national team. A ferocious comeback by the Nationals as they actually took a lead. The team representing the U.S. briefly there, but in the fourth quarter, it was the Capital team finding a way to push forward, and a lot of that came from a young man that you highlighted early, Tyler Perkins.
Yeah, really, really good showing by Perkins. He came out a little slow out the gates, but, you know, finished really strong. Here's Perkins hitting his first of many threes on the evening.
It's what we saw from him. Again, it wasn't just the fact that he made buckets or that he made plays. It was the timing that he made plays. In the first half, he came up. If we had a look at his plus-minus to finish the game, in the first half, he helped to extend the lead big. And then there in the second half, when it looked like the national squad was going to fully flex their muscle, it was Tyler Perkins who got this done. And now we're going to throw it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Eric Curry.
All right, so we are here with Tyler Perkins. You had an amazing game, 23 points. I think you had about 6 rebounds. You had about 2 blocks in the steal. What was your mindset going into this game, and how are you so focused going in?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can play with anybody in my grade, in my area. So I just came out with the mentality that I have to prove stuff because I'm not the most known person in this game. I'm just playing hard, and my shots are falling, and yeah, what happens.
Well, you're going to the University of Pennsylvania this upcoming fall. What do you have to say to all the UPenn fans out there?
We got a good one coming. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, sir.
And the Capital Classic is such a legendary and historic game. What does it mean to you to be playing in such a legendary game with so many great names have played?
I mean, it's just a blessing. Every kid, DMV kid that knows about this game dreams about it. This was the game that started it all. And just be able to leave my mark on this with, as you said, the greats that played in it. I mean, it's just a blessing.
Thank you so much, and I hope nothing but the best for you in the future. Great game.
Excellent interview there from Eric Curry as he interviewed Tyler Perkins. This has been an outstanding game, an outstanding showcase, not only for the kids, but for the entire community. 88-81. Marc Stern, give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, it was a great game. Like we said, this game, it's really, really, really good that it's kind of been revitalized. Got some new leadership, some new blood as they announce the MVPs right now. It's Mikey Williams named MVP of the U.S. All-Stars, going down in defeat, but Mikey Williams definitely warrants winning that award. Got to the free throw line repeatedly tonight. Obviously an electric ball player, really good ball handler. Be a good one for Penny Hardaway at Memphis. And now it looks like they're set to announce the Capital All-Stars MVP.
is there much doubt about who this award should go to. 23-point performance. Eric Curry just had him. Tyler Perkins able to walk away with the MVP honors. Again, UPenn, he's headed there. What does this moment have to feel like for a young man who may not have come into this game as the biggest name?
Oh, this is surreal for him. I mean, you mentioned he may not come in as the biggest name. He might have come in as the smallest name on the local team. I mean, for someone to come in, you know, coming from a school like Landon, this doesn't produce a ton of big-time basketball players. This is quite a moment for him and his family and the Landon community.
Congratulations to not only those two young men, Mikey Williams and Tyler Perkins, but to all of our student athletes who competed out here today and gave us a show here in the arena, or for you that are watching at home. I want to give a shout out to our entire production team that made this broadcast possible. I want to give a shout out to my tag team partner, Mr. Marc Stern. I am Chad Ricardo. We thank you for joining us here today. It's the 50th anniversary of the Capital Classic.